The reference for this lecture is chapter 5 of Varian. The reference for this lecture is chapter 5 of Varian, that is choice. The objective is that what we are going to do is that we're going to find out where the choice is going to occur for um, for uh, for different preferences. For example, for Cobb-Douglas, preference, for perfect complements, for perfect substitutes, for quasi-linear preferences, and for max preferences. What is the choice given the price vector P1, P2, and given the income of the consumer M? What are the choices X1 star and X2 star individual will be making? Okay, so that's the question which we want to answer. So our first case is your Cobb-Douglas case. Okay, you please just keep on writing alongside. So our utility function ux1 x2 is say x1 x2. This is your Cobb-Douglas function. Our objective is to maximize this utility, to maximize this utility subject to the constraint. Subject to the constraint P1 x1 plus P2 x2 equals to M. So this is the constraint which you will have to satisfy. So you want to maximize this utility, that is U equals to x1 x2, but subject to the budget constraint which you have. There are also two other constraints, that is see, always remember this, that the consumption set capital X belongs to Rn plus. Rn plus means from 0 to infinity. That is, you will consume the non-negative amounts of x1 and x2. Non-negative amounts of x1 and x2. That's a non-negative amount of x1 and x2 you'll be consuming. Fine, and we'll assume this, that this constraint will always hold. Otherwise, this is also these are also two other constraints. One is your x1 should be greater than equal to 0 and x2 should be greater than equal to 0, but we'll assume that they are binding constraints and you don't have to worry on that. Now, what we will be doing is, see, eventually, I mean, in case if you don't want to focus on the mathematical portion, you may skip it. Fine, but I don't think that, probably in some exams it might come as a question. In the other, they're not going to ask you the mathematical question. But that doesn't mean that you should not know what is going on behind this. My suggestion is that the present day economics, it can't be learned without mathematics. You need to have a basic bare minimum level of maths which is required, definitely. So you should be doing this, that you will come to know exactly that where your optimals are going to lie. You just don't want to see it graphically. You also want to say exactly where that is going to lie. Okay, so we'll set up a Lagrange and we'll say that we want to maximize this x1 x2 subject to this constraint.